All right, so next up, let's go ahead and talk about this two-way binding thing. First, we're going to take out Mike and Jim, and we're going to take out Dog 2 as well. And we're going to just make this a little bit better looking. All right, so if you don't already know, we're actually already kind of doing two-way binding with this name and name change thing that's going on here. So let's open our TS file for dog list component. Let's get rid of dog 2. And we are changing the name every time there's a name change action here. So the way to show two-way binding in your application is all you have to do is go to whatever you want to two-way bind and put the event binding inside of the property binding. And we have done it. The only thing that needs to happen now is if we go to our dog details. I've already done it, but you can see that this is name change. If this was anything else, if this was like name change one or something, this wouldn't work. But since it's a name change, or the property that I want to change is suffixed by change, it's going to go ahead and look for that when handling the name change or the binding, the two-way binding. So if we go back to our application and I start typing again, you can see that it does change with that as well. So it's really that easy when it comes to two-way binding. So say I wanted to two-way bind the color. I already have color here. And let's just to show you that name change one isn't going to work. Let's go ahead and say name change one, and let that refresh. And you see that it says name change does not exist in the type dog details. And that's because it sees inside of our dog list component that we want to two-way bind the word name, and that means is that it's looking for name change as well, but that's not a thing. So let's go ahead and go back and change that back to name change, and we could go ahead and do it with our color. So we say we already have color. For that, we're just going to do the change for our color. So we say output color change equals new event emitter and then string. And then that's all we have to do there. And then we're going to go ahead and handle that change. So let's say handle color change. And we're going to say this dot color change dot emit e dot target dot value, just like that. And then right up here, we're going to copy that, paste it, handle color change, event and text. Let's put a placeholder for these two so we know which one is which. Placeholder, and that's going to be equal to color and name, color, name. Perfect. So now if we go back here, you see that we have that. And let me go ahead and two-way bind it in our dog list component. And right there, we just put our nice little parentheses around it. We go back and we say name equals Harry, just like that. We change it to whatever. And then we can also change this one to be whatever color we want it to be, like red. So that's two-way binding. Now, there's another way two-way binding works, and that is with ng model. And you can see that easily if we go to our app component. Let's go to our app component, .ts, and we are going to two-way bind this title. We want to be able to change the title whenever we want to. So if we go to our app component HTML and we add an input right here, and let's type text, let's make a placeholder for it that says title. And now we are going to use the ng model directive that we have in Angular. And what this means is that we are going to model or bind to this input a variable, and that variable can be anything that we want. We're going to use name for this. So we say name right there, just like that. And if we go to our application, looks like we got something going on. Let's close this tag here. And still something going on. Let's figure out what's going on. ng model is not a known property, and that is correct. It is definitely not a known property yet. And the reason it's not a known property is because we have to import it inside our app module. So if we go to our app module and we import right up right here at the top. We're going to say import forms module from, and then we want that from Angular Forms. Then we go down here and we inside our imports we're going to put forms module. So if we go to app and we change this from title to name and we start typing, there we go. We have our two-way binding.